All right, let's talk about a huge challenge. In a world that's changing faster than we can keep up, how does a big institution, like a school, go from, chaos to true excellence? Today, we're going to look at something called the SNS roadmap. It's their unique playbook for doing exactly that, and it's pretty fascinating. Let's dive in.
And really, this is the big question, isn't it? It's what everyone's thinking about. With all the disruption happening, how do you create a place of learning that doesn't just survive, but actually leads the way? How do you get students ready for jobs that don't even exist yet?
Well, this quote is SCNS's answer. They're not just talking about a 5-year plan. They've built what they call a transformational framework. It's basically a guided journey designed to take the entire institution from a state of reactive chaos to proactive excellence. It's a bold claim, so let's see what's actually behind it.
So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, it really boils down to a mix of 3 super powerful, modern ideas. First up is design thinking. That's all about solving problems by really, truly focusing on people's needs. Then, you've got AI enablement, which is about weaving artificial intelligence into everything they do. And finally, innovation, which is kind of the rocket fuel that keeps pushing everything forward.
But before you can get to all that cool stuff, you need a solid foundation. And for SNS, that foundation is their culture. They call it the 3P Cultural Foundation, and it's basically the why behind every single move they make.
The 3 Ps are just brilliantly simple. It all starts with purpose, getting crystal clear on why you even exist. Once you know your why, you build the process. That's the how. How are we going to achieve that purpose? And finally, it all comes down to the people, the students, the faculty, the who that brings the whole vision to life. It just makes perfect sense, right? You can almost think of this 3P culture as a strategic filter. Any new idea, any new project, it has to pass the test. Does this serve our purpose? Does it fit our process? And will empower our people? This keeps everyone pulling in the same direction and makes sure no effort is wasted.
Okay, so that's the why. We've got the foundation. Now let's get into the how. This is where the strategy becomes real. They call it the 5 pillars of action, and this is the actual structure that turns that cultural vision into day-to-day reality.
And here they are, the 5 pillars holding the whole thing up. You've got centers for learning and creativity, a huge focus on practical skills for careers, deep partnerships with actual industries, and a commitment to social responsibility. It's not just one thing. It's a whole, complete system.
And here's how they all work together. The Center for Learning and Teaching, the CLT, is all about how students learn. The CFC is about unleashing their creative side. Then you have the career pillar, making sure they're actually employable, while the Industry Partnership Cell, the IIPC, connects them to the real world. And finally, the SRI gives them a sense of purpose beyond themselves. See how each one supports the others? It's pretty smart. So, we've covered the why, the culture, and the how, the pillars. So, what happens? What's the actual outcome? This is the what. Let's look at the incredible engines of growth and innovation that this whole framework has sparked. One of the biggest engines, no surprise, is Gen AI. And this is so important. They aren't just teaching a course about AI. No, they're embedding generative AI into the very fabric of how students learn, how they do research, and how they create new things. It's making AI a daily tool, not just a niche subject.
And you can see this in action. The results are real. We're talking about 15 different industry and innovation clubs where students are tackling actual real-world projects. They're getting that hands-on experience way before they even think about graduating.
But it's not all work and no play. The Spine Initiative shows they're serious about well-being. They've got 18 different clubs just for health, hobbies, and sports. This proves they're focused on developing the whole person, not just a future employee.
And here's the payoff. You can see it right here. The system is churning out certified, skilled professionals in the areas that need them most: IT, business, engineering, and health. This is the direct result of having those pillars for skills and industry partnerships. It's working.
Now, if you want to see some serious ambition, look at this. They have a 10-year mission to launch 1,000 AI startups. Just let that sink in for a second. 1,000. This is way beyond education. They're building an entire innovation ecosystem that could literally change the game. So what's the fuel for all this creativity and ambition? It's a fundamental shift in mindset. The entire roadmap is designed to pull students away from a fixed mindset, where you think your abilities are set in stone, and push them toward a growth mindset. This teaches them to love challenges, to see effort as the path forward, and to never, ever stop learning.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together now. We've seen the cultural why, the strategic how, and the innovative what. But what's the ultimate point of all this? What's the end game?
At the end of the day, the goal is to create a future-ready ecosystem. The SNS roadmap isn't just a bunch of good ideas thrown together. It's a single, powerful system where the culture, the why, is perfectly connected to the strategic pillars, the how.
So if you want to boil it all down, it looks like this. The foundation is design thinking. The growth is powered by drivers like AI and startups. And what do you get in the end? You get graduates defined by three things: innovation, real-world skill, and a deep sense of social impact. And this final quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's more than a slogan, it's a call to action. It's about that crucial step of moving beyond just talking about cool ideas and actually turning them into something that makes a real impact in the world. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question. When you have a plan, a roadmap that is this clear, this focused, and this powerful, it really makes you think. With a roadmap like this, what would you build?